In this tutorial, I will show you one of the way how to knit the stockinette stitch. To knit the stockinette stitch, on the right side of our work, we need to work knit stitches, and on the wrong side, purl stitches. With 2 knitted needles, cast on the number of stitches you need. I'm casting on using the classic long tail cast on method. I will cast on 12 stitches for demonstration. The first and the last stitches are the edge stitches, so my pattern takes 10 stitches. For edging, I'm going to slip the first stitch purlwise and purl the last stitch of every row. Here I have 12 cast on stitches on my needles. Now I need to take off one needle that I'm going to work with, that is going to be my working needle, and the needle with my cast on row is the main needle. To continue, hold the main needle in your left hand. Working yarn runs around the left hand index finger, and to create some tension, I am holding the working yarn on the palm with bottom 2 fingers. Now hold the main needle in your left hand and work with the working needle, creating the next row of stitches. To begin, slip the first stitch purlwise. Insert the working needle purlwise into the front leg of the first loop and slide the stitch from the main needle to the working one. Then work a row of knit stitches. I'm working the knit stitches into the back leg of the loop. Insert the working needle into the back leg, grab the yarn and pull it through, and slide off the loop on the main needle. Continue and knit the next stitch. Insert the working needle into the back leg of the next loop, grab the yarn, pull it through, slide off the loop on the main needle. Work across the row until the last stitch. Insert the needle into the back leg, grab the yarn, pull it through, and slide off the loop. I remind you that to knit the knit stitch, you need to have the working yarn on the back of the main needle. Insert the working needle into the back leg, grab the yarn, pull it through, and slide off the loop on the main needle. Work the knit stitches until you have the last stitch on your needle. That says the last knit stitch. Here I got my last stitch on the main needle. I'm going to purl this last stitch, move the working yarn to the front of the main needle, insert the needle purlwise into the front leg, grab the yarn and pull it through the loop. The purl stitch is made. Here we've made a knit row working on the right side. Now pass the free needle to the right hand to have it as a working needle, and the main needle with all loops hold in your left hand. Continue with the next row. We're working on the wrong side. For the edge, insert the needle purlwise and slip the first stitch. And for stockinette stitch, work the row of purl stitches. Working yarn is in front of the needle. Insert the working needle into the front leg of the next loop, grab the yarn and pull it through the loop. Now slide off the loop on the main needle. Purl stitch is made. Continue, insert the working needle into the front leg of the next loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. Slide off the loop on the main needle. Work a purl stitch through an edge of next loop until you have one loop on your main needle. And for the edge, we need to purl the last stitch as well. Here is my last loop. Work a purl stitch, and the second row is made. Now turn the work to the right side, pass the main needle to the left hand and work with the empty needle. Slip the first loop purlwise for the edge, and each stitch that you knit on the right side should be a knit stitch. Except the last one. The last stitch is an edge stitch. Work it as a purl stitch. Work the knit stitches into the back leg of loops. Work knit stitches until you have one loop on the main needle. This is the last knit stitch. Purl the last stitch. Working yarn is in front of the needle. Insert the working needle into the front leg. Grab the yarn and pull it through. Drop the loop on the main needle and the row is completed. Now work on the wrong side. Slip the first loop purlwise for the edge, and for stockinette stitch, each stitch that you knit on the wrong side should be a purl stitch. For the purl stitch, the working yarn should be in front of the main needle. When we reach the last stitch on our row, we are going to purl the last stitch as well. So work purl stitches till the end of this row. Here how stockinette stitch looks like. To create stockinette stitch, each stitch that you knit on the right side should be a knit stitch, and each stitch that you knit on the wrong side should be a purl stitch. This is the right side of my work and this is the wrong side. To make a nice edge on my knitted piece, I work the edge stitches. On each row, I slip the first stitch purlwise and purl the last stitch. For demonstration, I made some stockinette knitted pieces of different kinds of yarn. Here is the piece made of variegated yarn. It looks very nice. Here is its round side. This stockinette was made of the other type of yarn with lyrics, which also looks beautiful. This is the round side. Another interesting sample made of textured yarn. This is the right side. And let me show you the wrong side. On some types of textured yarn, it is very difficult to see the right and the wrong side of your work. I have made another one where it's difficult to recognize which side is right and which one is wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.